So I just played 2 and Contracts. You know, over the past few days, I just replayed them. Anyways, so I had it on PlayStation 4 as part of the collection, and I just decided. And, yeah, I don't know. This will be kind of a laid-back stream. I don't know if I'm going to play the whole game, but, it'd be cool to play the whole game. I got Absolution on here, too, so, that'll be good to play as well. I've got a lot of stuff to say about that game. Or, well, I don't know if it's a lot, but I got... As you guys know, any Hitman fans out there, you know that that game has a little bit of a mixed reception. Absolution. I do like that game, though. But it is the only step back in the whole Hitman series, I would say. I think the worst Hitman game is the first one, just because it's so dated. But, Hitman... I don't know, like, Absolution was the first one that was like a step back. Every other Hitman was a step forward in some form or another. I guess the only other one that would have been a step back is, Hitman 2... not the Silent Assassin, but Hitman 2, the sequel to Hitman 2016. That was a little bit of a step back, but pretty consistent overall in quality. Okay, so we got Rookie, Infinite Saves. I have played this game before, but to be honest with you, I've only played it on PC with keyboard and mouse controls, and I will admit, I'm much better at Hitman with the keyboard and mouse, so this is going to be interesting. The controller here. That's horrifying.
This just in. Unconfirmed reports of an accident at Southland Park.
I can't find my
She's dead.
Hundreds of family members gathered outside the deserted park today.
I forget about how political this game is with all the partisan stuff of like not partisan, you know, the election stuff that's going on in the background. Mr. Joe Swing King, Clarence Denice Society.
Is claiming malicious prosecution and believes he'll be vindicated
every
at last.
penny of his
The
fortune
so-called
defending
legal
himself
Eagles
from these
dream
lawsuits.
team defending Southland Park owner Joe.
There were people flying everywhere. Body parts.
And the victims'
blood.
families
Oh my
have
God.
vowed to appeal the decision.
Cleared of all charges.
Come, a cup of tea, hon? Sitting in the dark won't bring him back, sweetheart.
I would like to place an order.
I would like to place an order on the hard line. Alright. Hello, badass music. Badass character. Notice his, I think the scan thing on the back of his head got a little bigger this time. They shrink it in the other games. Alright, 60 frames per second, that's good. So, L1 is the map. L2 is to crouch. I'm sorry for being a noob here, but like I said, I have not played this on a controller. And you hold down square, that brings up our fine little menu here. Oh yeah, and that's first person. Wish they would bring that back. I'm hoping that with the James Bond games that are coming up by IO, that they're gonna bring back first person, probably to appease the whole GoldenEye Bond legacy, and I've wanted it in Hitman again for a long time.
47. This should be a straightforward operation. We need you to penetrate an abandoned amusement park, locate the owner, and take him out. The target is a Joseph Clarence, also known as Swing King. An accident involving one of the rides at the park a few years back forced him to close it down. Our client has made a special request that the photograph you have in your possession be the last thing the target sees. Mr. Clarence has somehow become in ring, so the park may still have some amusements. Enjoy the ride, 47.
Alrighty. Wait for the guard. Should probably put that away. Not that they tend to notice the fiber wire.
What the fuck you looking at, cracker?
I'm here to see Joseph Clarence.
Never heard of him.
Mr. Swing King?
Oh, that sorry-ass dickhead. What the fuck they call you?
Names are for friends, so I don't need one.
47 does what he does best. So, I guess I'll give my thoughts on the previous Hitman games and how I feel about them. 47, Codename 47, the original, I think that that's a good game for its time, and I do think that there are parts of it that aged well. Actually, when I first replayed it, or when I first played it, because I came to the Hitman series late, when I first played Hitman 1, I really thought it was pretty enjoyable. It had some problems, it had some frustrations, I had to use a guide and whatnot, but I found it still pretty enjoyable in spite of that. With Hitman... When I've replayed Hitman 1, I feel like it got worse when I replayed it, because I've kind of realized that Contracts is just so much of an improvement. Interesting lighting that they got here. I wonder if they made any graphical improvements to the PS4 version. Probably not. I know that this actually runs better than the version on my PC, because the version on my PC, I gotta turn off the filter. For some reason. Oh, hello.
Hey, stop that son bitch.
Okay, that's how that works. For anyone just joining, I'm sorry for my bad aim. I'm used to playing with a keyboard and mouse, not with a controller on this. Okay. And that's how you drop your weapon. God, first person looks so much better than it did in Contracts and 2. So yeah, I think Contracts is a great game, and when I first played Contracts, my thoughts on it were a little bit lower, actually, because I thought it was just kind of like, you know, like, it's a remake of Hitman 1, but it's also got a few new missions added, and I felt like some of the missions that they redid weren't as good or as memorable as for Hitman 1, the original. Like the one when you're at the hotel in Budapest. I really like the original version of that a little better than the one in Contracts. But overall, even though I like some of the missions a little bit better in Codename 47, the original, Contracts added the saving system and the modern conveniences and the first person and, you know, the things that you got in Hitman 2 that were huge improvements. So I think that Contracts kind of improved upon it, and I think Contracts is a great, like, I was thinking about what Contracts is in relation to Hitman 1, and I think it's a good addendum to Hitman 1. It, like, kind of adds to it and sort of fills in some of the background information with some of the other side missions that they added, and then they kind of cut some of the fat, or they trim some of the fat, like that one Colombian mission that wasn't quite as good. Oh my gosh, the aiming is really rough on the controller. I guess I'll... there's no one else here, so I can just fiber wire them.
Just a lawyer.
It's easy. Unfortunately, you can't help this guy.
Help! Help
Kill
me!
him, but
Help! Help
do this before he
me!
gets poor sap. Alright. Head up here. Yeah, so that's kind of how I felt about Hitman 1 and Contracts. I feel like Contracts is great as an addendum, and, you know, one thing that I did this playthrough is I actually, typically, like, I would play Hitman 1 and then play Hitman 2 and then play Contracts, because that's the order that they were released in. Played Hitman 1 and then played Contracts as the addendum, as I said, to Hitman 1, and it worked really well on that level. I think it's really fitting to end Hitman 1 and then begin the next game like right at the point where 47 is leaving the science lab in Romania. And I really like the way the story is told through the flashbacks. I really like the feeling of desperation in Contracts and the mood and the tone of it.
Little help in here, guys!
Contracts has kind of become one of my favorites, actually, with recent playthrough.
Little help in here, guys!
Right. Hide in the closet. Yeah.
Where'd those lazy bastards go?
Yeah, so then Hitman 2, you know, I played that. And, yeah, I like Hitman 2 a lot. Again, like I said, these games kind of just kept getting better. And I think 2... I mean, it's definitely like the defining Hitman game. Okay. That. Keycard, he has it. Okay, let's not be too suspicious. God, this is so much more nerve-wracking on a controller because you can't, like on keyboard you just hold down shift or you hit caps lock and then you walk, but in this you have to, you know, be careful and, like, you know, with your thumb brushed up against the analog stick, you can't push it too far. I imagine this game was really impressive for 2006.
Where's your crate, bitch?
This gun in green crate. That was a mistake. And unfortunately, I did not save, so we might get totally screwed here. I apologize. See what fight we have left in us, though. God, because of the sensitivity, I feel like first person is a little bit easier.
I can get the money, sweetie. It's as good as mine already. Mr. Spook's got it. We'll open the park. It'll be like old times. No, just a few more days. You gotta believe me. Don't say that, sunshine. Mr. Spook's gonna come true, baby. He's good for the money. I won't sign the papers. I won't. You gotta give me one more chance. You gotta. Baby cakes? Sunshine? Hello?
good idea to save here. I mean, if you abuse the saving in this game, you can just save scum through it like it's an old PC RPG like Fallout or Baldur's Gate or something. Jesus. Okay. There's still a lot of auto-aim. It's kind of hidden how it works, but it's kind of rolling around on the ground there. That was a feature that was added with contracts. And actually in the modern games, they don't really do so much, unless I'm wrong with that. We'll, probably a good idea to wire. They did a great job with the animations in this. I like that he struggles a little bit, and it's not the same exact animation every time. Shit. Yeah, he's just gonna give me trouble. Reload. Insanely lucky that that worked. Right, and you hold down the thing. Alright, got it.
It's been a while now, Scoop, and I was just wondering where we were on the whole money thing.
Were you?
Yeah, see, the thing is, if you remember, you know, what we agreed to was it'd just be a short while and you'd pay in cash, and I know what the pressures you were under must be, but the deal is a deal, and I was hoping, you know, maybe you could just pay what we agreed on, even though you've been here for, heck, more than twice as long as we agreed to. But just pay the original amount and move on. Not right away, necessarily. I'd appreciate it.
No.
So for anyone who's unfamiliar with Hitman, or, you know, this is the first time that you're seeing this stuff, you know, the thing that makes Hitman genius, the thing that makes Hitman special, I think, is the characterization. And the characterization happens in a way that's very unique, because 47 is really a blunt instrument. He's kind of the guy that comes in and takes care of business and kills these guys, but 47 isn't really the character that matters overall. The characters that matter are the characters that you kill. The characters that actually get, you know, depth and writing, you know, where all the work is put into. It's all put into the characters themselves that you are killing. So this comes to, like, full fruition in the new Hitmans, where they have these, like, beautifully written targets that you kill, and they have backstories, they have families, they have all this stuff that goes on, and they really make you feel bad sometimes for killing them, but also it's not like mean, you know what I mean? It's not like done to such an extent where it's like, oh, you feel terrible for killing this good guy. It's not like that. They make them great. They make them have good qualities and bad qualities and everything in between, and it's something that really makes this series special, that the best characters are the ones that basically all die. Wow, it is weird how it's done in this version. I prefer how it's done on the PC. You have to switch from, like, first person or third person to first person to scope. In on the PC, you just hit I think, the middle mouse button. Man, I don't want to have to snipe these guys. I prefer to play these games as pacifistically as I can. Pacifistically, not really a word, but yeah, I try to pacify enemies if I can. Shit. Oh god. Alright. It's like easy mode right now. I mean, I should be dead for all. I mean, I deserve to be dead, basically, for my playing here. What the hell's going on? Oh, I'm dying. Right, you die. So if you die, it goes into slow-mo. And then you just fall over. And I skipped the animation there on accident, but yeah, you just fall over. I suppose it is best if I just snipe some of these guys. Okay. Oh yeah, so this is a great feature in this game. They will just pan to the side. Almost, I mean, it almost reminds me of Max Payne 3. They just kind of have that sort of style. Or like, another game that does that is Heavy Rain, where they'll just like randomly have like the side camera, like it's split screen. And did I just die again? Someone shot me. I didn't even hear a shot, so it just like grazed me, I guess. I'd hate to have to restart this, but I think we'll be good. I mean, you can do basically anything in these games. You can get out of any situation. It's pretty rare when you have like an unwinnable situation. So I think I got all of them. I'm not sure though. You know, yeah. So one way you can cheese it, you can literally just look at the map and they mark your targets on the map. Now, one thing that is better about this version over the PC version, though, is that I don't have to hold down any buttons to run. On the PC version, you have to hold down Shift to run at all, which I remapped to, I think, right-click, because I got tired of holding down Shift. But, okay. Right
fine to take, bitch. What you got on underneath all that?
Alright, he's
Very little.
Oh,
He's
shit.
managing his hose.
Fine-looking bitch like you don't need no fancy wrapping, do she?
Depends who's unwrapping me.
God damn, girl.
This was a different time. Alright. So there's our target. That's our man. And I believe we can just take him out. There's nothing really stopping us.
Who the hell are you? How'd you get in here? Carol Ann!
My client has hired me to show you this photograph.
I don't understand.
My client has asked me to ensure it's the last thing you ever see. Please, look at the photograph, Mr. Clarence.
No. Please. Haven't I suffered enough?
Nope, you're done. You know, I really love Hitman. I mean, like I said, I'm new to these games, but is that Yankees? I think that's Yankees. Anyways, yeah, so I'm kind of new to these games, but you know, one game series that I'm not new to, that I've been playing for years now, is Metal Gear Solid, and I actually prefer Hitman over Metal Gear Solid. I'm not gonna lie. That's how much I love these games, and that was something that was like immediately impressive to me, was when I realized that I love these games so much right out the gate that I actually prefer it over Metal Gear Solid. Now, there are things about Metal Gear Solid that are better. Obviously, the story is deeper in Metal Gear Solid, and the characterization is a lot more traditional in that game. It's not like your targets are, you know, the characters. I mean, it's a little bit bleak that literally the best characters in Hitman are all dead. You know, obviously Metal Gear has a little bit more of a traditional method of storytelling where you have, you know, Otacon, the sidekick, and Meryl, the love interest that never happened, and, you know, all that stuff. So you have a little bit more of a traditional style there, and Hitman has its share of problems. The voice acting has been atrocious at times in Hitman. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, it probably is. I like 47's voice. What's that guy's name? David. I forget the actor's name, but he's pretty good at doing the cold voice. Is his acting really crazy good? I mean, not really, I guess, but I don't think that's really the point. Like, the point of 47 is that he's supposed to sound cool, and he sounds cool, and that's really all that matters. So, and honestly, it's kind of the same with Snake. I mean, Snake's voice acting, it's not really like super top notch. But it's cool though. You know, it makes you, it gives you a cool feeling listening to it. Oh shit! Oh, can I survive? Sometimes you can like survive if you kill them all. Yep. Okay, we're good. That's a feature that Metal Gear Solid 5 ended up using, the bullet time thing. Oh, that's a nice detail. I've never noticed that. There's a gun behind the pillow.
Please, please.
Too bad. If I had non-lethal injection, I'd just knock her out. Okay, we're gonna get a little thing here. So this is a cool little thing that they have in this game that kind of gives more details for things and it provides a little bit of levity too. It's kind of like the, you know, if anyone's played Red Dead Redemption, which I'm sure everyone that's watching this probably has, considering my channel, but you know, in Red Dead Redemption, they had those newspaper articles, and that's kind of what this is. This was like the first game to do that, I think. I mean, first game I can think of, where in between missions they would give these little news reports, and yeah, they'd provide a little bit of humor, a little bit of levity, but also give more lore and detail of what's going on. I'd love to read this, but I can't because it's a stream, and it would just waste too much time, but drug cartel liquidated. This leads into our next mission in South America that's coming up. Biotech boom goes bust. Blooded killers on the run. I wonder if they have anything about the people running for office. They'll get to that later, I know. That guy's a clone. Spoiler alert. Here we have our base of operations, similar to concept to Hitman 2, where you're at the Sicilian church. Here we have like an underground base, and you know, I'd said spoiler alert. Like, I'm going to be talking about spoilers. I'm going to be spoiling like the ending to Blood Money and everything. I'm just going to talk about Blood Money in general, but or I don't know if I'll spoil the ending. I don't know what I'll talk about. I'll talk about some stuff with this game though, because I mean, it's interesting. One of the most interesting things to analyze about this game, which, I mean, this video is kind of more like a laid-back thing. I'm not analyzing this hardcore, because there isn't really too much to analyze here anyways, I think, but one thing that I like about Hitman, this first trilogy, because I do consider it a trilogy. I consider Hitman Codename 47 to be the first one. Contracts to exist as kind of an addendum to it, a sort of extension that sort of, almost like an epilogue in a way, or like adds a little bit of extra, and adds a little side story to the side, you know, with 47 bleeding out and that sort of thing. And a little tie into Blood Money at the end there. But, you know, there's Codename 47, Contracts the addendum, Hitman 2, which is the proper sequel, and then Blood Money, which is Hitman 3. So, it's the sort of, like, first trilogy of Hitman. And, it's interesting to me, because the ICA is a really cool concept, and it was something that originally disappointed me about Hitman, was that, like, I'm really into the idea of being a secret agent. I really love spy thrillers, I really love James Bond, I really love Jason Bourne, that sort of thing. So the thought of being like, oh, he's a private contractor, that's a little bit disappointing, but it actually makes perfect sense, and that's what I like about it, because it grew on me, the concept of a contract killer. Because, sure, you're a contract killer, but you don't really... You're not a hitman in the way that, say Nico Bellic was a hitman. You're not that kind of hitman. You're not the dirty hitman that's doing hits for the mafia. You're not that type of hitman. You're actually a hitman that basically kills for politicians and stuff like that. But the thing is that if politicians wanted to get their wet work done or their dirty work done, they probably wouldn't go to the CIA. They'd probably go to an outside source. So a lot of what you're doing in these games is actually killing targets that are political enemies to other people. There's even an example in Hitman 1, and by Hitman 1 I mean Hitman 2016, the newer ones. There's a mission where you're killing some Italian right-wing guy, and they say, like, an Italian right-wing xenophobe or something like that, right? Like, it's, like, trying to be kind of, you know, I guess political, but at the same time neutral in its own way, because, yeah, you could think of it as, like, oh, this is so cool, I'm killing right-wing bad people or something, but then at the same time, who's telling you to kill these people, though? Well, it's the political enemies. It would naturally be the person on the other side. It would be someone on the, I guess, the left or whatever other side, whatever political enemy. And that's the sort of double meaning with Hitman, and the kind of, the way it gets deep for me, in my opinion, because, and the way it gets interesting, because, you know, you really are someone that does dirty work for a lot of different people, a lot of rich people. You're like a high society hitman. You're not like a criminal hitman, really, even though you're technically criminal. You know what I mean? Like, you are, like, when the politicians want to get shit done, and they have obstacles that get in their way, they call the ICA. They don't call the CIA, because the CIA they exist for foreign policy matters. They exist for spying on whatever enemy that we have nationally. The ICA and what 47 deals with is more personal matters, and the sort of dirty work. And that's when we get to this guy, who's actually an ex-FBI
Rick
director.
Henderson, first edition.
He's expecting you. This way.
Who is starting his own agency. That is competing with the ICA. ICA, I think, stands for International Contract Agency.
I've been looking forward to this.
As have I, Mr. Alexander.
Don't let's stand on ceremony. Call me Jack.
Rick.
Make yourself comfortable, Rick. I'll be right with you. I admire your work. Real journalism.
Thanks. I thought we'd start with your thoughts on the White House attack, then discuss your tenure as director. Or if you want to sound off on politics.
Apologies for the interruption. That was my controller.
My apologies. This interview about me is just a cover for a more sensitive story. I'm sorry to have lured you here under false pretenses, but I couldn't risk a leak.
I'm not sure I understand.
Don't worry. It's the scoop.
If the audio's a little bit quiet, I'm gonna turn on the subtitles after this.
Listen, please. It begins with a little incident at a vineyard in Chile that caught my eye some time ago. This was a family business. Fernando Delgado and his son Manuel. Well-liked, hard-working men. Have a look at the folder.
Delgado. So he shows up again later in Hitman. Confusing, but Hitman 2 2018 is what I mean, not the Silent Assassin from 2002. He's got his little laptop here,
Hello,
which
47.
we see everywhere.
Your next target's in Chile. His name is Fernando Delgado. Used to be a colonel in Pinochet's intelligence service. Now he's running a cocaine factory under cover of a vineyard. Satellite imaging suggests the lab is underground. Fernando's son Manuel is on the coke trade, so to make it look like a drug hit, you'll have to take him out too. We'll get you in with a pensioners club from Santiago for the big celebrity unveiling of Delgado's new wine label, named for 80s B-action star Rex Stanton. There'll be at least one TV crew on hand, so keep an eye on them and their cameras. Delgado's got a seaplane, and that may be your best way to get out in a pinch.
Okay. But of course, you know, the clients that you receive with the ICA, there is a wide variety of different clients. And it's always ambiguous as to who it is, typically. So, you know, it may be a politician, it may be someone else, it may be a rival crime family that has money that wants to deal with these people. You never know. It could be the CIA itself, the CIA using the ICA as a middleman to do things that they don't want to be connected to. You really don't know, and it's all up to your imagination, and that's what I love about Hitman as well. I love that there's a lot of pretend, basically, of like, you figure it out, you come to your own conclusion, you get to think about what the mission means. What the mission means to you. And I always thought that was a cool concept. So we can upgrade our weapons. Apologize, I'm still getting used to the controller interface here. It's actually better than it was on the PC for navigating menus like this. Miscellaneous, that's what we need. Health boost, yes. Health boosting is good in every game. I shouldn't have got the binos upgrade though, that was weak. One game where health boosts are good to get is Dark Souls. That's a game where that's really important. I've actually been playing Dark Souls recently for the first time. I've never played Dark Souls. I've never played any Souls game. I played a little bit of Bloodborne, but it wasn't very much of it. I played only a little bit of it. These cutscenes didn't age very well. I think the normal game ages okay, but that character model's not too bad. You gotta keep in mind, I mean, 2006, right? Like, Oblivion... what other games came out in 2006? Twilight Princess. Game looks pretty good, all things considered. But, ugh, yikes, that wall texture. You know, one game that looked really great for the time was Metal Gear Solid 3. This was a time where they really started to get, like, foliage right, like trees and stuff like that. Now, it is kind of like spinning, like, you can tell it's a sprite effect, like in Oblivion when you look at the trees and you just spin, and it, just, like, it kind of moves in an awkward way. Alrighty. Hello, I'm not a threat. This was the first game that had the background dialogue where you get a little bit of characterization of the world, really, where, you know, the world feels very alive. Now, the later Hitman games would go to the next level on that. So yeah, you know, the director of the FBI, ex-director of the FBI, he's created his own agency. I forget the name of it, but that's the agency that competes with the ICA. And then by the end of this game, this is like the big spoiler or whatever, but the ICA ends up getting really beaten up, and a lot of people end up getting killed off or leaving. Now, the one guy in Hitman 1, or in Hitman 2016, what's his name? Soders. Yeah, that guy. We don't really know what happened to him because he was director of the ICA back before 47 was even part of the ICA. But, and he ends up betraying the ICA, and you gotta kill him at the end of 2016, and that's the big ending for that, is killing the ICA's ex-director, because he was selling information basically to the Illuminati. Yeah, by the way, the Illuminati exists in this series. Not like that's a surprise. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of conspiracy stuff. I mean, this series is ripe for it. Like, if you were writing this series, why wouldn't you put conspiracy theories in it that are real, or that, you know, can be made real in a setting? Like, it's really cool. Like, you know, you're literally a contract killer that kills for rich people, so, like, this is literally... I mean, there are literally conspiracy theories about that in real life, so why wouldn't you just literally do that? Okay, yeah, we're gonna get this guy. We got the sedative. Oh, shit. Ooh. It's bad. I'm curious if I can just walk up on him, because like in Hitman 2 and in Contracts, I love that he hides it behind him. That's so badass. Hello. Good night. It's nice that they just give you the sedative. You end up getting a sedative in the later Hitman games as well, in 2016 and in 2018. But one problem with that, though, is that you have to earn it. You have to, like, unlock the sedative. So normally you would just have to choke a guy out, which can be a little bit risky. Alright, we got our new disguise, we got our cover here. One downside to the PC version, but it isn't really an upside to this version either, but when you save, you have to go into the menu, and they never gave the option to just quick save. And the music starts to ramp up. Hold on to that. Damn, I wish I had a silenced weapon. I should have taken it with me. He's gonna be around the corner here. Now, I am in a disguise, so I can probably get away with this, but I do have to be careful. We can climb this thing. I think he's asleep, but I'm not 100% on that, so Okay, we saved once. We got like we got 6 saves. We're just gonna poke this and see what we can get away with. I wish I could look through the keyhole. There's no keyhole. Okay. Someone's coming. Okay, we're lucky. Hello? Good detail with the breath there. I really wish I had a silenced gun with me. Again, this game is all about kind of poking it and see how far you... I don't think we're gonna get very far. Yeah, wow, and they lock it behind you. Awkward. Just put me out of my misery. Ugh. So there's a few locations that we could go to. One of the great things about these games is that you can tackle the objectives at your own pace. You can go to whichever objective you want. These games can even be semi-open world at times, especially with levels that are a little bit bigger, like the India level in Hitman 2018, the most recent one. Or the Italy level in 2016 immediately comes to mind, which is among the best in the series, according to most fans. So there's like a drug lab that if you go down here, you can like blow it up. Or not blow it up. I don't think you can blow it up, but you one of your targets is down there. And one of the objectives is to take him out. So we'll just poke around down here. So yeah, I don't know. Thinking about like the rest of the series, I mean, it's interesting the step-by-step stuff that goes down, because it's like Hitman 1, you know, you got 47 sort of go, like, you know, leaving the or escaping from the prison, the asylum in Romania, the hospital place where he was in prison and where he was created and raised and whatnot. And you go from that to, you know, that whole confusing plot line with killing off the people that made you. I mean, it's not that confusing, but it's just kind of needless, the fact that they were all genetically part of you. But the genetically part of you thing doesn't even really matter as much as they were just in on it. So it was kind of it was the doctor that was at the facility that was in on it. Jesus Christ, sorry for the aim, holy crap. Again with the controller. Yeah, so like, so in Hitman 1, you have to deal with that guy, and he turns out to be an agent for the Illuminati group in the new ones in Providence. And he kind of just turned on everyone. I'm wondering what's up here. Okay, he's over there. So one of the things that you can do, he gives like tours down here, and then you can kill him by disguising yourself as one of the tour people. Oh boy. Right, and it's like a hidden cocaine factory or heroin factory under there, hidden in the winery. Yeah, I mean, you could play this game like this if you wanted to. Like, if you wanted to just play this game guns blazing like Metal Gear Solid 4, and you don't want to be stealthy, like, that's totally fine. You can do that. It is a little bit tricky, though. There's a limit to what you can get away with. Okay, so my target's over there. That's literally our target. Okay. Alright. That's an opportunity to get out of here. We'll take what victories we can get. We're gonna need a new cover, though, because my disguise is totally blown. You know what? Could do this. Take his, though. Oh, shit. Yeah, this can be a little bit of a struggle with the game, the controls sometimes. Okay, there we go. Good. And you can climb up the hatch. I actually didn't even know that. So you could, like, set a trap for him. Wow, okay, they body bagged someone. So, one of the crazy things about this game is that random things like this can happen where you'll kill a target, and then they'll come and, like, they'll try and, like, they'll discover the body, and they'll be like, we got a situation here, we gotta haul this body out. So they'll, like, drag the body out, and they'll wrap it up in a bag. Alright, all the guards are dead down here, so that's not a problem. I think we can actually just push this guy off. That. Either way, we need a new cover. Alright. So yeah, I mean, 47 has to deal with, to go back to the topic of the first Hitman. 47 pretty much has to deal with these guys that, like, he's ordered to kill these guys as, like, a fake contract type thing. Like, it was like a fake contractor who was trying to eliminate people that were part of the project to make 47, to create 47, because 47 is a clone, or is, like, not really a clone, but like a factory-made human who is born to kill, essentially. He's like Solid Snake, but Solid Snake is a clone of Big Boss. 47 is like a clone of multiple people that was kind of, like, made in this weird, like, amalgamation of people that is this generalized death machine, for lack of a better description. And he pretty much had to kill off these guys that were part of the project to sort of shut it down. But it was sort of like a cover-up thing, and it was like there's actually a lot we don't know about the first Hitman, about what was even happening in that first game, because, like, the motivations of the Doctor are just really strange, I'll just say that. Everyone's a little hostile right now. But yeah, the motivations of the Doctor were really weird, and he was kind of played off as comic relief, almost. His dialogue was so crazy and over-the-top funny in the first Hitman, but then they kind of had to retcon him into a more serious character later on, and they tied him into Providence and all this stuff in Hitman 2016. And we're gonna find out. I mean, there's a lot of details that we don't know. It's kind of hard to analyze Hitman fully because there's so much that we don't know. We don't really know why 47 was even created beyond just a crazy doctor that was involved with the Illuminati to create this guy, and then he basically went insane, and then tried to kill off all the people involved, and then through becoming like a shadow client of some kind, he sort of tricked the ICA into getting 47 to eliminate all these targets, to cut off the middlemen, basically, to cut off all the people that were involved, and to sort of shut it down. And then he was going to kill off 47 and make more clones and all this stuff. It's a very old video game plot, the way the first game sort of plays out. But then Hitman 2 comes along, and then pretty much Hitman, or 47 retires and joins up with like a church, and it's sort of an interesting thing, because it's sort of an effort on 47's behalf to sort of humanize himself, because 47 is interesting. Like, the one thing that's interesting about 47, because, like I said, he's sort of a blunt instrument that's used by others. He's sort of the ultimate tool. But one thing that does make him interesting is his humanity, because he is still a person, and he still kind of tries to connect with humanity in the ways that he knows how. But the ways that he knows how are very limited and strange. Like, he kind of just became Catholic. He joined this church in Sicily and, like, retired there, and sort of worked as, like, a groundskeeper, and then devoted himself more to God. And that was kind of just an effort to connect with humanity in the ways that he knew, so he went automatically to culture. And it makes perfect sense that it was a Catholic thing, because of the traditions with Catholicism and the sort of physicality of it, right? Like, it makes perfect sense that 47 would go to that as the sort of thing that he would try to connect with and try to be human through. But of course it ends up being for nothing, and he ends up killing people anyways in that game, and then he pretty much says, like, he hangs up the cross at the church, like, the father that he was friends with gave him this cross, and then he hangs it sort of in a sort of resignation, because he knows that he can't change the nature of who he is. He's born to kill, so he's just not going to change. And it's kind of sad. He's really just kind of stuck. And he connects with humanity, and he connects with his inner humanity in small ways, and it's like little character details. There's one moment in this game where he actually kills a bird that he has as a pet, and it's kind of a cool moment, because it's almost like a sweet moment where he's like taking care of this little bird, right? And it's in his hideout, and he's like feeding the bird, and it's like, oh, okay, 47 has this little pet bird. Why would 47 have a pet bird other than for the reason of trying to connect with his inner personality that's kind of dormant, right? Like, he's trying to find that, and it's sort of through physical things. It's through crosses. It's through a bird, right? And he has this pet bird, and then he hears someone coming down the steps. It turns out it's Diana, so it's no one. But he hears someone coming down the steps, and he gets ready, and the bird is chirping a little bit. And so 47 goes from feeding this bird and being a gentle, kind, generous person to taking the bird in his hand and squeezing it and murdering it instantly on the spot, because he needs to. And that's exactly what 47 is. If it were to be explained in, like, one scene, that really is him. And you could almost end the analysis of 47 on that one scene. That's really it. He's not the deepest character, but he does have moments. He's got little moments here and there. Could kill this guy. I only have one more target. Oh, no, got him. But this is not the right disguise. I want to do that. The only question is will they recognize my other disguise? I can't choke him. I can't sedate him either. How unfortunate. Maybe there's another cover, another way I can get in. Oh, there's that guy over there. You know, I think one way you can kill him is I think you can snipe him when he's on the balcony. If I, like, wrap around. Alright, we got spotted there, so... Not a problem, officer. So yeah, that's really what happens. You go from sort of dealing with your origin story in Hitman 1, and kind of there's a lot of mystery in Hitman 1, and I think the missions are most iconic in Hitman 1. That's why I feel like Contracts has kind of become more of one that I find to be better now than I did before. Because I feel like the missions in Hitman 1 are very, very iconic in the original Hitman, but the problem is that the game is just too dated, but Contracts updates it just enough. You know, so it's nice to have those iconic missions updated. And, you know, you go from discovering your past and sort of, you know, getting your feet wet in the ICA and kind of figuring out how to do things to 47 going in retirement, and, you know, the few missions and Contracts, like that one in the sausage, in the meat factory, or in the slaughterhouse, which, according to the timeline, we don't really know when that happened. They're a little bit ambiguous about that, about when that happened. Some of the missions and Contracts are kind of nice in that way, because we don't really know exactly when they happened. Damn it. I like to think that that mission happened right after the events of the first game, because you know, 47 like retired in Hitman 2, so I like the thought that, well, what made him retire, and that really fucked up mission in Contracts where you're working at the slaughterhouse. I mean, it's kind of like fanfiction, I guess, or it's my own fan thought, because they don't really specify when that happens, but I like to think that that was almost like his last mission, working for the ICA, and then he's just like, I'm good, and then, you know, that mission basically inspired him to become a Catholic. That's kind of a funny thought to me, and kind of my personal take on that, but, yeah, so he did that, and then he kind of ends up being wrapped, or roped back in Hitman 2, and then the whole thing about this game is sort of the destruction of the ICA, and the way it kind of implodes, and then all that's left, really, is 47 and Diana, because of this agency that goes after them, and sort of seeks to replace them, and it makes perfect sense, because, like, you know, if the ICA does the dirty work for a lot of the super rich and super high-class people, you know, the super rich and powerful, like, at a certain point, the ICA becomes a liability, and, you know, once you find a new contract agency that's better, that gets the job done in a new way that is better, then you kind of have to cut your ties then. You have to cut off loose ends. And so they become enemies of the state because of that. And then it gets really crazy at the end of this game with the assassination of the president and all that stuff, and the last thing is at the White House. And it gets really crazy, and to be honest with you, I don't even remember all of what happens there. I might make a video later where I talk about that, because I doubt I'm going to stream this whole game, because it would be a little bit of a nightmare, just because, to be honest with you, it's kind of hard to talk while I play better when I'm not talking, I guess. That's why I did that GTA 4 video where I'm literally just walking through the city, because how do I talk and play, right? So my plan here, so I was going to assassinate this guy when he's up on the balcony, see if he's dumb enough to do that. Don't want to jinx it. I don't think I can reach him. Yeah. Yeah, he's just not positioned in a way where I can take him out. But at least I got a new disguise. I got my disguise back. I probably shouldn't have even abandoned it, but I was just worried that they were going to recognize my disguise and then come after me. But with this disguise, I can maybe get in there. There's also other covers you can take. Like, there's all these different exclamation marks. These are basically, like, little, like, side objectives or certain ways you can infiltrate. Like, I could, like, climb this roof. How many saves do I got? Okay, I got enough. I can fuck around a little bit. I mean, it's funny. I don't want to like scare the guests here, and then like cause the whole place to panic and come after me. Oh, you know what? I bet I could have used the worker as a cover to get into the winery. But I already took out the target in the winery. I want to get into the villa, so... Well, they'll take a look around over here. Okay. Hopefully no one sees me. Oh, yeah, there it is. There's his violin, cello, whatever the fuck. Yeah. Yeah, it's violin. Or is it? It's cello. Yeah, so he's gonna walk in here. I wonder how much fall damage I'll take. This is a perfect getaway, because I can literally just jump down there. But, you know, the shotgun's not ideal. Oh, this is perfect. Perfect. We even got an extra magazine. And this is what's great about Hitman. There's, like, 1,000 ways to do it. However, you know what? I will be going loud if I do this, and I don't want to go loud. I could... there he is. Alright, we're gonna save. Again, the save scumming game. If you play on higher difficulty, they give you less saves, and they also, if you want the silent assassin rating, like, you know how in Metal Gear Solid, you get, like, different ratings, depending on how you perform in the playthrough. It's similar to that, only it's by a mission-by-mission basis. I'm sorry, but you have to go. Requiescat in pace. Speaking of Assassin's Creed, plenty of similarities to Assassin's Creed and Hitman, with the soundtrack, same composer, the score, and sometimes when 47 kills a target at the end, like especially like a really important target at the end of the game, it goes into that mode, like the Animus mode, where it's like it's all white surrounding you. And you just have like a one-on-one monologue with him. I wonder if there's any other ways out. No. Gotta take the plane. I kind of like the depth of field. They got a little bit of blurring in the background. There's like reflection of the water there on the rocks. The water itself looks like trash, but you know, hey, they tried. So, what can you do? Alright, the mission after this, hope you guys are ready. It's pretty cool. Oh, they played this beautiful music too. After you complete a mission, you just get this little feeling of accomplishment and slight melancholy, you know. And they'll show views of, like, you know, the map that you just played on. Covers blown once, yeah, one time. Witnesses 4. That's a lot of witnesses. Headshots 3. Thanks. Close combat kills 2. Shots hit. Shots fired. Wow, so 50%. Alright. That is like an average rating. A lunatic. Average rating. Perfect guess.
The scoop of the century is a couple of wine guys getting whacked in Chile?
It wasn't the victims that caught my eye. It was their killer. I believed it was Mr. 47.
The bald killer clone? Come on, Jack. He's an urban legend. Even the CIA and your own FBI say he doesn't exist.
We say a lot of things, Rick. It's part of the job. Delgado was a very successful man. Successful men in that part of the world tend to be, well, call it security conscious. Not many people could have done this thing solo.
So you went running after a myth?
Myth? No. It merely caught my attention. One of my CIA friends was also intrigued. The opera incident heightened our curiosity. Have a look.
That little laptop is in the Hitman movie as well.
Hello, 47.
Which I saw once.
We've got some business at the Paris
It's alright,
Opera.
I don't know.
There are 2 targets.
It's a decent B movie.
And Richard Delahunt, the American ambassador to the Vatican. Our client claims they're behind a prostitution ring trafficking in boys and girls from Eastern Europe. Tosca is still in rehearsal, so there's plenty of activity at the Opera House and you shouldn't be too conspicuous. Ambassador Delahunt watches most rehearsals from his box. He travels with an armed escort, but there shouldn't be any other security to speak of. You'll get some cover from the construction crews renovating the theater for the new season. We've also left you a pickup in the cloakroom. In the third act of Tosca, the tenor faces a firing squad. That scene may provide a useful opportunity. It's a straightforward assignment, 47, but the agency's been having some problems in Paris. Use extreme caution.
Alright, so, this is a conspiracy with the Catholic Church and, child trafficking, so we got heavy shit here. Richard Delahunt is, like, governor of Massachusetts, I think. Alright, so... Oh, I didn't accept it. That's why. Okay. More precise, less recoil. Big goof. So you can choose the weapon that you take with you. If you take an M4 assault rifle, it fits in a suitcase. And if you take the sniper rifle, W2000, that also fits in a briefcase. I guess I got everything. Right, I need the sniper. Less sound, less recoil. Yeah, sure. Yeah, good enough, I suppose. So this is the mission where everything kind of starts to go to shit for the ICA, actually. This is where pressure starts to be pressed on, starts to really be placed on the ICA and 47 himself. After this mission is actually when Hitman Contracts is set in the modern day, where in Contracts, the story is told through a series of flashbacks, and in the modern time, before it's flashing back to the events of Hitman 1, basically 47's been shot, and he's in this apartment complex, and he's, like, bleeding out, and someone's helping him, and all this. And what happened was, it was a mission that went horribly wrong, and it's right after this mission. This mission is set in Paris. And, it's this opera house place. And you're basically just supposed to kill these guys, and then it just goes wrong because 47 has one more target, and that target is a police commissioner guy who's also in on all this, and he knows 47, he knows who he is and all that. And go away. Go away. There we go. This is one of the most iconic Hitman missions of all time. You know, so I had to do this. Like, you know, I may not finish this game for the channel, but I at the very least had to do this mission. Can I take his... I meant to take his outfit. I guess that's a feature that's in the later Hitmans, where you dump their body in here and then you can take their outfit. I guess I can't take his outfit. Okay. I love killing people in the bathroom in these games because it reminds me of Casino Royale, the movie. Reminds me of GoldenEye 64 when you shoot that guy when he's on the toilet. Yeah, it just feels only natural that a secret agent spy would kill someone in the bathroom. I don't know why. So there's a few ways you can do this mission. You can infiltrate as one of the actors in the play, or you can just set up a sniper position. The music that plays here is absolutely badass. One of the best. Oh boy. Oh shit. Hold up, I get a comment. Hey, what's up, Papa Flippin' Smurf? Alright. There's a person that just commented, for anyone that's listening to this retrospectively. Alright, alright, that's fun. So he's getting killed in the play. So yeah, there's a few methods of infiltration here. I'm gonna try and just assassinate him really straightforward. Because it's a really quick and easy way to do this. But you do have to be careful. But yeah, this mission was hot. I don't know what I don't know who the person was that paid for the contract, but this is definitely what got the ICA into a bunch of shit. Yeah, this was a big screw up. May be able to pull this off. Close that. Might be good to save right away. Yeah, but there's several methods that you can take. You can, but the most easy is probably to infiltrate as an actor. But the first time I played this, I actually did it this way. I just, like, straight up assassinated them. With the sniper. God. Trolls. Yeah, I definitely prefer playing this with keyboard and mouse. That's our target. Ah. Or, anti-clip. Too bad. Oh, you've been playing 1 and 2? Nice. Yeah, I'm super stoked for Hitman 3. Yeah, I've screwed this up pretty bad here. But that's one of our targets, so... Are you playing, I'm curious, are you playing them on the PC, or are you playing them on, consoles? This is like an instant spot. There's a lot of sway when you, in that mode. Oh shit. Messed that up. Load quick. Jesus. Probably should have switched to my SMG. It's too late now. Yeah, the backstory, I mean, you don't necessarily need the backstory, but it is good to have. It's kind of like James Bond, where it's just kind of this long history with this character, and, it's just good to have, you know, those stories in the background anyways, you know. I'm really messing this up. Alright, we're gonna try a better method. On PC, I was able to pull that off easily. Like, just snipe them, get the hell out. But, that's not so much an option here, I think, because my aim with the sticks isn't very good, and there isn't very much auto-aim on this version. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious, how many of you guys feel about controllers, because when it comes to controllers, I kind of have certain preferences. Obviously this is on PS4, so I don't mind the PS4 controller. I think it's alright. I like the Xbox 360 controller as well, but my favorite is the PlayStation controller from the PS2 and PS3, just because I kind of got used to it, and that was kind of the controller that I grew up with, you know, so I don't know if it's like more of a nostalgia thing, or if it's just kind of what I got accustomed to, but I'll admit, I really love the 360 controller's grip. It's got a good feel to it. Alright. You know, I might restart this whole thing, because I want to get the janitor's outfit. Kind of make this easier. Or the cops one. You get that too. Well, your PS4 controller drifts. Yeah, I'm lucky. Mine hasn't had any problems, but I got a friend that has a lot of problems with his PS4 controller where it just malfunctions. And I'll say that I had that with my PS3 controller, where like eventually the buttons would just get weird and finicky, and then all of a sudden I press one button and it activates another button entirely. So that's really annoying. And I had to fix that controller by opening the controller. There was a tutorial on YouTube on how to fix it, and like I had to like open the controller, and it actually worked. I fixed the controller, but then it happened to another controller, and then I tried it then, and it didn't fix it. And I broke it. So, too bad. 50-50 success there. Okay, well, we got our disguise. I'll warn you of this, though. If you rewatch the video of this, you might get spoiled if you care about spoilers, because I do talk about some of the stuff in Blood Money, like how it ends and stuff like that, just a little bit. But I don't know, these games are kind of older, and I don't know if spoilers really, it's not so much like it's being spoiled, it's more like what's cooler is like seeing how it all happens rather than spoiling what happens, if you know what I mean. It's all about the missions themselves and how cool they are. Basement. Basement's the key. Right, that way. Yeah, I know what you mean with the drift. I'm lucky I don't get that, but I do have that on older controllers. My N64 controller is all busted. Oh shit. I don't want to start that. Okay, he's not looking. Man, that was a shitty move. There's a lot of precision required in Hitman. Of like, when you need to do something, you need to do it exactly the way that you intend to do it. And without keyboard and mouse, that makes it a little bit hard. So I do struggle a little bit more with the controller. I'm not as precise with it. Alright. I'm just gonna go in there. Hopefully we can not get attention. Okay. So one of the actors will go behind stage here, and then you gotta just take him out when he's in his dressing room. Hide in the closet. Oh gosh, okay. Alright, so that's under the stage. I wonder if I could sabotage it and like electrocute him or something. Maybe that's too next level. I really don't need the sniper rifle. Though I could use it to snipe the governor from the stage. What's over here? A nailer. Okay. Just another potential weapon, I suppose. Alrighty. He's not going to be a problem.
Le journal télévisé américain nous rapporte
Okay,
que le
yep, we're
vice-président
gonna go
des
backstage
États-Unis
now.
est décédé suite à un accident.
He's happy. Got a whole ass. Oh boy, sorry. Alright. Man, we are just speed walking here. I'm just like... It's funny picture. Okay, so that's an easy way here. Exclamation marker. You're supposed to just hide in here. Get your guns ready. And then you can pop them. Or nail them, as a matter of fact. Okay, so he's like announcing himself on the stage here. Meanwhile, the governor's up on the balcony over here somewhere. He's gonna walk back. And I'm gonna hide. I'm probably gonna use the silenced weapon. I don't know how loud the nailer is. And I don't want to potentially reveal myself. Oh shit, it's the wrong thing. He goes to the other one. Wow. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Alright, this is easier. Jesus, okay. Pretty clean. I mean, could have been cleaner, but, you know. This music's really good. So the lyrics, I actually recommend looking up the lyrics to the song. They read like there's something out of like the Da Vinci Code. It's very like conspiratorial. It's about like we were here first, or we were here from the beginning, and we're silent, and like we're always here, and we control everything, something like that. It's very like Illuminati. Oh, you know what? I forgot something. Of course, the sniper. At least we get to hear this song more. I left it in the bathroom, I think. Or no. Where did I leave it? I didn't leave it in the bathroom. I just gotta double check, just in case. Yeah, I did not leave it in the bathroom. I left it in the basement somewhere. Not here. I might have left it in one of the dressing rooms. I recall having it here when I picked the lock. Went through here. I'm sorry, this went from kind of an analysis thing to like literally just playing the game, but again, like I said, you kind of got to focus on these things when shit starts to go down, you know.